Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Dr. Lizzie Burns, and today I'm going to be showing you how to fold a heart like this one. This workshop is part of the Echo Happiness Hub. Echo is a charity supporting children and young people with congenital heart disease and their families. Echo is there for families at every stage of their heart journey and provides practical information as well as opportunities to connect with other heart families. The Echo Happiness Hub is all about bringing fun, distraction and learning to families while they're at home due to the pandemic or while staying in hospital as their child undergoes surgery, treatment or recovery. These workshops are hosted in partnership with our friends at the Centre for Medical Engineering at King's College London. And later in the series, we'll be joined by some scientists to hear about their work. You can find out more about how Echo can support you at echo/uk.org. You might need to look up that instruction. So in just a moment, let's get started with today's fold. Please use the comment function to share your thoughts and questions throughout the workshop. And please obviously be considerate of others when posting. So I'm going to show you first of all a little bit more about origami first of all. So I was actually taught origami by someone who was a patient. So I work actually in a hospital part of the time. And I was asked by a patient to learn how to fold these beautiful origami flowers. They're traditional lilies, and she'd been unwell herself as a child and found that origami really helped to kind of lift her mood and to make something beautiful that she'd enjoy, but most of all to give to others. And she was again unwell as an adult, and she would make more and more bunches of flowers to give to doctors and nurses who had helped her and to express thanks to friends. So she asked me to learn origami and to pass it on to others. It's not something I would have thought of doing, but I found it such a gift. It's a time when you can get completely focused. All you need is a piece of paper and you'll find that wonderful things happen. Everything else will disappear. You'll make something perfect and beautiful. And it will, of course, take time and care. It's about nurturing yourself as well. So make sure we're going to go slowly and very kindly and be really playful. And you will get there. You'll start to make beautiful things. These flowers are around, I think, about 9 years old. Believe it or not, they still look so fresh, don't they? So we're not going to make anything quite as complicated as that. We thought maybe start simple, and with time, we'll be able to make more things too. So in just a moment, we're going to make a heart. And also, as you can see, I've coloured in this heart. So I wonder whether you can do some colouring in, some decorations, some messages. So if you can make sure that you go and grab a piece of paper. It can be just normal A4, whatever paper you have around. Maybe you could decorate it later. So if you have any coloured paper, maybe grab that. I'm going to show you how to make a square and then how to fold a heart. So hopefully most of you are there. I can see that there's people watching already. It's really exciting. And I know some of you are going to be watching afterwards as well. So we'd love to see the hearts that you make. Maybe you remember doing origami as a child, the fortune tellers. Yeah, the flowers are really nice. Thank you, Casper. So Casper said the flowers look amazing. Yeah, they're a slightly more complicated one. And actually, if any of you find it, you really want to make them, I've shared them. I've been doing a fold every week on, if you have a look on YouTube under my name, Dr. Lizzie Burns, then that's a kind of an extra homework. And maybe you could make your own bunch of flowers. But let's start simple. That's where everything comes from. And this is my favourite fold. I think a heart, obviously, with such symbolism, care and love. And obviously, of course, we're thinking of you at this time. So it's showing that solidarity. And so grab something to press on. That's what I would recommend. I have a little board, or if you buy a table, if you go and grab that. I'm going to show you how to make a heart from A4. I thought, actually, you know what, we're going to make one heart and then we'll make a second so that they can have company. And then, so maybe you can make a heart for yourself and then a heart to give to somebody else as well. It's a really nice, simple fold. It's a traditional fold. So grab a piece of paper They make loads of hearts actually, and then maybe you could have a rainbow of hearts on your window as well. So I'm going to direct my camera down, and what we'll do is I reckon we could make 2 squares out of a piece of paper. So the flowers would be great in hospital. Yes, absolutely. So actually, I used to make bunches of flowers and put them in the wards. At the moment, obviously, the times are a little bit different, but hopefully things will get there. So I'm simply going to fold it in half. So if you have a piece of paper, also do the same. So with origami, my 3 rules are to go slowly and, to be exact, start well, continues well. Can you see I lined up really carefully when I folded it in half? So my first one my first rule is to start well, it continues well. Second rule is to give good strong folds, because it's the folds that give it the strength. That's the engineering side actually. My third rule is not to forget that you must have fun as well. That's what it's meant to be about. So I simply folded it in half. Now if you've made a good strong fold, then you should be able to turn it round and just do a little tiny nick. And if you have it on a nice solid surface, then you should, with care, be able to gently tear it off like so. There we go. So I'm going to put one aside there for now. So hopefully this is just an A5 piece of paper now. And if we take the corner and we're going to line it up down here, all we're doing at the moment is making a square. So lining it up, really lining it up carefully. Yeah, and actually, so there's going to be a whole series of creative sessions for you, which I hope will be a lovely support. It's a real honour that I'm kicking it off and starting it for you all. But a bit later on, towards Valentine's Day, we're going to get to make roses. So you'll be able to make some beautiful flowers, some really nice ones. Next, we're going to get rid of this rectangle on the side. So what you've made underneath here is a square. I know it looks like a triangle, but it's a square. We're going to get rid of this rectangle. So if you then turn it over and pull it back and line it up. And I don't know about you, but when you're doing this, this is all you're focusing on. I think there's something about doing something very practical, I think, that really helps focus the mind at doing something. And every time you're doing a nice little fold, you're letting out a bit of tension. It will make you feel a little bit better. And this is a lovely thing to do. So we're going to get rid of this rectangle. So again, if you just do a little nick, and I love how we're able to do this without any scissors, without a guillotine, just keeping it super simple. There we go. So have you all made a square? That's usually the basis for origami, although actually a bit later on we're going to do something that doesn't involve a square, just to be different. Why not? So hopefully, if you have origami paper, then I want you to fold it in a diagonal line so that we all have it the same. I'm going to get confused because it's not a mirror image, so yeah, I may at times look a little confused, but it's all right. So I've done a diagonal line. That's what you need to start with. So let's get going on making the heart. So I'm going to rotate it round, and we've got this long vertical line. What I'm going to do next is take the bottom corner and I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm going to do a pinch just in the middle, and that's to do a halfway line. So it's just a pinch, it's not the whole way. So we're going to take it up and lined up those corners nicely. I'm just going to do a little pinch in the middle, like so. There we go. So it was a square which had that diagonal line. I opened it up, twisted it round, and I brought this corner up to here to make a halfway line. So hopefully you're all with me. This is hopefully quite a nice simple fold, but a really lovely one. So our next step is to bring the bottom corner and bring it to that midway line. So I'm going to bring it up there like so. Can you see? I've brought it up to the midway line. Oh, a bit bright there. I found white actually quite good for showing how to fold. So I brought the bottom Excellent. Love that we're making heart. Of course we are. We're showing the love, we're showing the care. And obviously we're thinking of you, your families at this time. And I hope this can be support over the coming weeks. Looking after your well-being is really important. You need to look after yourselves in order to look after others. So I've been doing the same as well for staff in hospitals, encouraging that. So we're going to take the top now, and we're going to bring it right the way down to the middle at the bottom. So taking the top and folding it down. Can you see? So it was up here, and I brought it down. It's very interesting doing it to camera where it's not a mirror image. There we go. Doing reasonably well. There we go. So it should look like that. Does yours look like that? Excellent. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Daniel. So comment from Daniel. This is awesome. Origami is always awesome. Right. Thank you, Daniel. So we're going to turn it round just so that the wide edge is at the bottom. Can you see? So this is wide. There's so many amazing things you could do with origami. And actually, this is the one accessible material we all have. We all have paper. Might be junk through the door. Let's turn it into something beautiful. So it's super accessible. Doesn't make any mess. You could do simple things. You can do complex things. It's not just for children. So we're going to take the bottom, so the wider side, and we're going to bring it up in a straight line. Can you see? So it's the wider end, and we're bringing it up in a straight line, like so. Here we go. It's not obvious yet that it's a heart. We're close though. So as we do the next move, again, the wide side, bringing it up into the middle there. There we go. So it's looking a bit like a heart, but it looks a bit pixelated at the moment. So I recommend you take the top points. Let's soften them. We need a nice, soft, gentle heart. There we go. And yeah, this is all engineering. And of course, this is also a gift from the scientists. They want to show their support and their care. And the bodies is astonishing. It is a piece of engineering, and the heart particularly so. So all of that understanding and curiosity and care brings us to better places, doesn't it? Science does bring us hope. We all need, and we're particularly aware of that, aren't we, this time. The sides as well, these little pointy bits. Again, all we're doing is tucking it away. Just tidy it up, tuck it away. There we go. Like so. I hope that worked for you. This looks like a huge heart. The joys of having a camera. Yeah. And it's quite nice because it almost sort of opens up a little bit too. So that's the first heart. Just seeing on the time. We could maybe make a second heart. Shall we make a second heart while we're here? And then after that, we'll make a beating heart. Yes, it is possible with origami, so we can bring it to life as well. So we made one heart. Let's make a second heart while we're there. You'll find it much easier a second time. So the second one is to give to somebody. So your square. Again, it's not a square at the moment. It's it's an A5. So take your corner and bring it over in a straight line. So over the course of the weeks, a few months, I'm going to bring along, I think, 4 pieces of origami, 4 origami sessions. But there's lots of other wonderful things going on. So I hope you'll enjoy a lovely mix of other artists as well. We're going to remove this rectangle, so turning it over. And you'll also get to meet some scientists too. I'm going to ask them questions. Find out more while folding. That's right. We're getting rid of this rectangle. So hopefully this is something that if you're doing it a second time, you'll find it's a little bit easier. And then we'll go on to a slightly more mechanical heart. Hopefully open that up. And again, we're going to do the halfway line. So taking the top. And actually, this is one that I've done with children. And even quite young children have quite quickly started to remember how to do this. I've been making hearts. Isn't that a lovely thing? Giving them to people. There we go. So it's made that mark. Again, the bottom point, bringing it to the middle. And like so. That's right. This is one I can just about do in the air. I recommend you do this on a surface, not as I'm doing the top. And we're going to bring it right down to the bottom there. Keeping it all in a nice straight line, otherwise you'll end up with a wonky heart. We don't want that, do we? Although obviously our heart's not quite symmetrical. It needs a stronger side to pump blood around the body. I'm a scientist originally, and actually all of my own artwork is about how amazing and wonderful the body is. Great, so hopefully it looks like that. Turn it round again so that the wide side is at the bottom. And we're going to take a side and bring it up in a straight line. Hopefully you'll end up with two hearts. Two hearts are better than one, right? We might as well. Symbolises sharing, doesn't it? Being together. That's right, so the side. I'm bringing it up. And then we're going to make a third heart in a different way. So again, let's soften the heart. And it'd be lovely if you can colour these. Write messages, doodle on them, decorate them, and share them. That would be fantastic. We'd really love to see that. There we go. So hopefully a second heart. Actually, some people, when we've made hearts, you did 4. You could even make a 4-leaf clover, couldn't you? So that could be super lucky. So that's something else you could do. So I hope you've enjoyed those. We're going to make a different heart. One that actually beeps. Yes, it's true. It's possible with origami. So, right, our next heart. So again, I'm going to show you from A4 paper. I figure that's something that you've all got at home. I'm just going to grab a mouthful of coffee. Hopefully you've got something where you are as well. So we're not going to do a square for this one. It's a bit unusual. So what we want is a strip of paper. So it's a ratio of 3 by 1. So the length or the height there from a landscape A4 is 21 centimetres. We want it 7 centimetres. So it'd be a third of the width. Let me see. I'm going to give it a guess, or we can measure it. We don't need to measure it, do we? There we go. I can show you also how you do that from, I reckon that's about 7 centimetres. Oh, I'm feeling tempted now to check. I might check with a ruler. Don't tell anyone who does origami. Close. Could do with a little bit more. If you have a square already, because I think some of you may have origami paper, so it's something like that. That looks about the right kind of ratio. Strip. And it will actually make quite a big heart. So I do a little nick and tear that off. Like so. I'll show you as well how to make that. If you already have a square, if you happen to have origami paper, I've heard that some of you might do. So if you have a square already, then if you curl one side over another, get them all matching up, eventually you'll get them so that they're all fairly equal. And that's what you want. And then you could, again, make 3 hearts, maybe. So, yeah. So that's the way that you can do it. And then folding and tearing off that strip. So it's 3 by 1 ratio. Are you all happy with that? Have you all got a strip? I think this would be a beating heart. So this is designed by someone called David Petty. And he came up with this. It's really neat. Okay, so are we ready to begin? I can't hear you. Hopefully. Here goes. Right. So we've got our strip here. Yes. And you're welcome to put any comments or slow down, or can you show that again, Lizzie? I will happily do so. I guess you could also watch back as well. So we're going to fold it in half, basically. That's the start. So this end to that end. And also behind the scenes, we have Bella and Sinead. And thank you so much for for this opportunity of working with you together. So they're very much working on this as well. They probably don't have time at this moment to do origami, but maybe they'll have a go afterwards. That's it. So you've hopefully simply folded your strip in half. So our next step is to take the side and bring it to the middle. So it's a little bit like we were doing before. So I'm going to take the side and fold it up in a straight line. Might be easier for me to do pressing down. That's it. So take your time, go nice and slowly. I think that's when you go nice and slow, you're slowing yourself down and it's relaxing too, I think. So it's down there, folded up in a straight line. And the same on the other side, this side too. So origami just means, ori means folding, kami means paper folding. There's also kirigami, which means cutting paper. The word obviously comes from Japan, and paper is seen as very precious, which it is. So much of our culture is based on paper. I think almost like a person, it's both fragile and strong. So hopefully you took it from the side, you brought it up to the middle, you did that on both sides. Looks a bit like a paper aeroplane, doesn't it? Right, our next step. This is a great break from homeschooling. Thank you. Glad to hear that. Definitely. Doing something hands-on. Yay. So we're turning it to the back. And what we're going to do is take the side and fold it to the middle. Now, when you're doing that, just let the side twizzle around. It's a bit hard to explain, but I'm going to take the side. Can you see? I'm lining up and I've just let the side just stay unfolded. So it's just that little bit that you're folding and taking it and I'm folding it in a straight line. There we go. And the same with the other side. So this side, I'm just sort of spinning it round, just very gently spinning it round. This will be a great one to have at your own beating heart. I thought it would be very appropriate. And it is a real piece of engineering. Been doing lots of drawings of the heart, actually. Such a beautiful structure. There we go. So again, it looks a bit like the last heart. It's different on the back. I'll come on to the back in a moment. But first of all, again, a bit like the last heart, it looks a bit pixelated. Let's soften it. So the top, if you, again, fold it over, just soften it a bit. Same with both those top points. How are we doing for time? I think it's just about right. And then the side. There we go. And the other side. I'm keen that we do this nice and slowly and gently because that's what will make it relaxing. There we go. Does it look like that for you? Nice heart. So the back's different and it's the back that will allow it to do its work. So turn it round to the back. Can you see there's this strange, interesting structure here? What we're going to do is take one of these side pieces and line it up in the middle. Now I might need to put this down because my brain gets confused if it's the wrong way around for me. So I'm going to take the side and fold it to the straight line. Can you see? So it's at the side and folding it in a straight line. Nice and exactly through that point. I think it's all about accuracy and so is science too. It's about being careful, taking your time. That's right, on the side. But when you're slowing down and you're being careful, I think you're also caring for yourself too. That's it. And be patient and kind. It's what you need to do when you're learning. There we go. So it should look like that. Now there's one more little move to do and then hopefully our heart will start to beat. Can't wait to play making this. Just joined. Oh, welcome Jodie, and you can obviously play this back as well. So in a moment you're going to see an origami beating heart. So our next step, hopefully that worked for you, is to open up these little flaps and pull this bottom bit downwards and tuck in the sides. Right. This is hard for me to do upside down. So there it is. I'm going to peek around the side, I think. So I'm going to pull this down, and you have to sort of reshape the sides. Make it into a little point. Thanks, Bella. We've just got a few minutes. Perfect. Can you see? So it was closed like that, and I opened up the side, and I pulled down the middle, and you have to sort of almost a little bit reshape the sides to make a little point. It does require patience. You will get there. Then you're pretty much done. Can you see? And then push that, well, just squeeze it like so. So it's like a little handle. Can you see it's like a little handle? And hopefully, let's see if our heart will beat. Let's fingers crossed. Yeah. And you might even hear a sound as well. Isn't it amazing? So this is from David Petty. And what I'm doing is I'm squeezing. Hopefully you'll find that too. You're squeezing your fingers and that moves the flaps. But it's almost as if you can see into the heart and it has a sound. So this is rather nice, isn't it? Yours might be better actually. I'm not quite sure what mine's doing, but it's not bad. And hopefully you can watch that back, make a few different hearts. And again, it'd be nice to decorate it. It does beat! Excellent, Emma. Congratulations. Oh, it's such a symbol of life too, isn't it? It's an amazing thing, a heart. What it's doing all the time. And yeah, it's a nice design, isn't it? It's quite a big heart considering it was just a little strip. So everyone, I hope that's all worked. I hope you've managed to take a few cards, get them coloured in, and really hope you've enjoyed this. So thank you so much for joining the Happiness Hub. We'd really love to see what you've made in today's session. So please share photos of your creations with us on social media using the hashtag Echo Happiness Hub. I'm sure the details will be there on the page. Thank you, Bella. If you'd like to speak to someone at Echo or wish to access available support, please visit their website for further details. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you next Tuesday at the same time, but for something different, for some drawing. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I know we've just got a couple of minutes, but we've managed to fit it all in. And yeah, maybe you could make lots of hearts. Maybe you could make hearts, give them to people. Maybe you could put them up on your window, make a little rainbow of hearts. My wish is actually at this time of, it's been lovely to have, oh, excellent. I'm so glad you've enjoyed it, Gemma, that we've had rainbows on windows. Why not have hearts on windows? I think that's what we really need at this time, isn't it? And I hope this has just given you've really enjoyed it. Thanks, John. I'm really glad you have. Thank you for joining us. And it's good for all ages, isn't it? Thank you, Emma, that it's something you can really focus on. And thank you, Bella has also shared my YouTube link, because I'm actually sharing a video every week. And probably next week we'll be doing something like this. Oh my word, can you believe we could do that? That was just once an A4 piece of paper. I do many different levels. This is one of real patience. It's a real beautiful piece of engineering. So many different things you can make with origami. And it's a way of encouraging you to take time out for yourself, get focused, get inspired, discover it's both science and art, and you will never get bored if you start origami, I promise you. And hopefully just a really nice way of relaxing. I hope it's been nice to do something all together. Hope you felt and realised that we're all here together doing this. And I hope you'll enjoy the next session of drawing. And I'll be back another time. Thank you. Thanks. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.